Apparently, David West needed a helmet last night.
NBA playoffs, man. So the battle of the home court advantage is really what it is between the New Orleans Hornets and San Antonio Spurs series in the Western Conference. So last night the Spurs blew out the Hornets 99-80, and early in the fourth quarter, Big Shot Bob takes a big shot at David West. Check it out, man. David West is number 30. He gets picked coming from behind by Robert Horry, number 25, who's won more championships than anybody else. No, that's actually not true, but
almost.
Yeah, exactly. So
he's got 7, and Bill Russell's got it.
David West is backing in. There's a shot in the back by Robert Horry. Now, this is, of course, they knew this was going to be talked about immediately. Is Robert Horry a cheap player? Is he dirty?
All right, let's understand a couple things. First off, I'm changing his name from Big Shot Bob to Cheap Shot Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he did this, of course, against the Phoenix Suns last year, too, where he knocked Steve Nash into the boards, and then Stoudemire and Diaz got up off the bench, and that wound up costing them the series. And you got to understand this about this clip. David West has a bad back, and everybody knows it, and his back's been acting up on him. So when he goes up and Horry's in the game, boom, he takes a shot at his back. Look, I'm not even debating it, okay? It's not an open question. That was definitely a cheap shot.
Yeah, because they said he re-aggravated the pinched nerve that was in his back, and that's not very comfortable. And of course, everybody knew that. They talked about it in interviews. There's no way he missed that. So, and it goes back to last year, of course. Now, people are saying he's only getting this label on him because of last year's shot, which people still debated was a cheap shot. People still debated that. People that were on the Spurs side of the argument.
No, there's only a couple of fools in San Antonio who claim that wasn't a cheap shot. Yeah, but they're saying, only because he ran through Steve Nash into the boards and checked David West in the back when he knows he's got a back problem and threw him to the ground, basically. Gee, I wonder where he'd get that reputation. In critical playoff games when the San Antonio Spurs aren't doing that well, or he comes out and basically decks someone.
But this is a situation. They had control of that game at that point. It's the beginning of the fourth quarter.
I know, but they're going to Game 7 in New Orleans, right, exactly, where they've lost every single game. Right. So he
thinks ahead. He's an old school player, and like a lot of times, old school players will think, "Oh, well, I need to do something to get this little advantage, this little edge." Which is why, yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. That's a dirty shot. I'm just giving you the devil's advocate side of this, because some people are saying, "Well, look, David West was backing in, playing defense, and then as the pass went up, he decided to jump to intercept Ginobili's pass." And that put him in the position because Robert Horry was just going to set a nice clean pick.
No.
And his back was high enough to get the forearm of Robert Horry.
No, people who say that have never played basketball, okay? He knows exactly what the guy's been playing basketball forever. In fact, there's no one has played more playoff games than Robert Horry. So you're telling me he didn't know that? Of course he knows it. Watch what he does. Throws that shoulder right. You think Popovich doesn't know that?
That's the last question. Do you think he's sent out there to do it? Is he the goon?
Look, two things. One, it was cleanup time, so a lot of the scrub players like Robert Horry were in the first place. So I'm not sure Popovich was like, I'll send in Horry to hit one of the guys, right? But at the same time, you think Popovich doesn't know that Horry takes cheap shots? You think he doesn't encourage the whole team? That's what the Spurs always do. And look, don't get me wrong. I really respect the Spurs because they're champions and they've won so many times. And I'm pissed that they're making me lose my respect for them by doing things like this, because that's not sportsmanship. And if you try to hurt people, then you're a cheap bitch. Am I being clear enough?
I think it's more of a Robert Horry situation. I don't think Popovich goes out there and says, "Hey, listen, you guys, get that little edge, see if you can hurt somebody. Hey, David West has a bad back, just to let you know." I don't think he sets up the scenario and says, "Hey, by the way, you guys, don't forget, David West has a bad back," and doesn't say anything else. I don't think he goes there.
Of course it's more subtle that. He's not going to make it that clear. But look, Popovich is the most underrated coach in all of sports. He's a great, great, great coach. But he sends out a subtle message to his team year in and year out. I don't mind if you play rough. And I don't mind if you show these guys what it takes to win a championship. Wink. And then Horry goes and plays rough. And does Popovich yell at him after that? No, he goes, pats him on the ass and goes, "Nice job."
I don't think that Greg Popovich goes out there and says, "Hey, you guys, play a little rougher," and then Phil Jackson in L.A. says, "Hey, you guys, I want you to play a clean, smooth game here." I don't think there's a difference in coaching. One tells them go out there and maybe hurt somebody. Another one says, "Oh, no." I don't think it goes that far.
Yeah, it is. Cheap shot, Bob.